Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be watching My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 6. We got a kind of a Kirishima-centric episode and more on the other, teams last episode, which was kind of nice to see them in their work study, see them using their hero names, and kind of realizing that they actually have high potential to be heroes. I mean, they're already doing hero work and they're in their first year, which has been explained that it's really kind of unheard of at this point. They're doing everything at a progressively faster rate than most people that, take the classes at UA. So it was kind of it kind of feels like a really good building block for them to improve and kind of get better. And yeah, it was a very good episode. But I also was kind of hoping we'd get more information about Shigaraki and Overhaul's kind of deal. They talked about it a little bit, but it didn't go. It got kind of cut off and not too much detail. So hopefully we'll get more of that soon. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/ajrich123 for full reactions and early releases. You can also check out my Twitter at ajrich123, and let's go ahead and start.
Hey, us too. Want to walk to the station together?
Please.
That's...
I mean, if you don't mind.
We appreciate it. What's with all the heroes and concepts?
Is there an animation drop this episode?
What a coincidence, us too.
It looks like a humongous animation drop this episode. That is a shit ton of heroes.
All these incredible people.
Too many.
From big shot pros to more minor local heroes. This is amazing.
Thanks to the information provided by all of you, our investigation has progressed substantially. We've invited you all here for a joint conference to share the intel we've acquired.
I feel like I'm missing something really important here. What now?
Some bad guys are planning to do some bad things.
Overhaul's group.
Meeting so we can talk it all out.
For the past couple of weeks now, those of us at Nighteye Agency have been conducting an investigation into Schillinger, a small but organized group of criminals. So we began tailing them.
In my capacity as a Nighteye Agency sidekick.
The fuck?
Following leads to see what I could uncover.
Centipede.
I found that in the past year, their aim seemed to be expanding their organization and enriching its coffers.
That sounds like that typical voice morpher voice.
Began. They made contact with a member of the League of Villains, but with the help of the police. I confirmed that an altercation had occurred between the two groups.
So they've been really close to them.
Decided to reach out to Tsukauchi and me. Figured we'd be able to assist given the League's involvement. You know, cop stuff.
Is that all hair?
Sorry, kid.
His whole head is hair?
Like this coming. I've got a bad feeling that things are about to get ugly.
Victoria knows some big guns.
God damn, it's like everybody's here.
So, after all that went down, we posted a notice on the HN requesting assistance.
I think we can skip that.
You can ask for help from people whose quirks might come in handy.
Does anybody want to tell me why a bunch of high school kids were invited to this
At least the heroes have internet.
I'm Fat Gum.
He's so cute and squishy.
Who wants candy?
Hasaikai's movements are hard to trace, but we suspect one of their main sources of income is illegal drug sales.
And at Red Riot's debut fight, he proved he could too. Tamaki was shot, and the bullet contained some kind of drug I've never heard of before.
Yeah, this stuff wore off while I slept. Here, look. I've got this cow hoof and
so it did last a little bit.
I'm glad to know the effects aren't permanent, at least. So this stuff doesn't zap a quirk for good.
But after Tamaki here was shot, we brought him to the hospital, and they found that his quirk genes had sustained damage. Fortunately, they seem to have healed on their own, and he's back to normal now.
What do we know about the substance
wow.
he was shot with?
Kirishima bravely defended Tamaki from a bullet, which then bounced off his own body and should now provide us with a viable sample.
Whoa, I did that? Really?
So they found the bullet that bounced off his head. Yeah.
His quirk, it's hardening, right?
It contained human blood and cells.
Human blood?
Whoa.
Sounds like something out of a scary movie.
I'm not connecting the dots here. How is all this related to...
That's not quite all for ones, because his quirk doesn't do that. Doesn't destroy them.
There's no concrete evidence that Hasaikei handled the drug, but we know for a fact that they interacted with one of the middlemen responsible for moving it.
They're all fighting each other too.
The intermediary organization that Fat Gum just mentioned.
One of the two giants had been given an inferior drug that didn't last long.
There have been a rash of gang-related crimes recently.
I mean, pretty obvious.
With this power, he can disassemble things and then reassemble them.
Ooh.
That can break down quirks.
Oh, they somehow engineered that into a bullet.
There are no records or details about her birth. But when Mirio and Midoriya encountered her, they noticed there were bandages wrapped around her arms and legs.
Could he really do something so horrific?
We're wondering if this Chisaki bastard is turning his daughter's body into bullets and selling them on the black market.
Oh, so it's combining what he does to her, and that's what's creating these bullets. That's fucking abuse. Holy shit. No wonder. Wow, no wonder they're able to mass produce these, and she's bandaged. Okay, now the bandage makes complete sense. That is some fucked up shit. That's the definition of abuse.
It's possible that they're still in the testing phase.
How did the other guy get it then?
Samples to rally more people to his cause. We have no hard evidence. The completed drug allows him to annihilate someone's quirk entirely. Imagine the devastation he could cause.
Just talking about it's enough to make my blood boil.
Yeah.
I take full responsibility. The blame should not fall on them. Even without knowing the whole story, they acted to save the child.
They could not do anything else than they did in that position.
World's greatest hero. Not even close.
It's
save 1 million people? I couldn't even save her.
I assure you,
damn.
No one in this room is more frustrated than they are.
In the position that they were in, I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. But what I think is the position they were in, I think Mirio's take on that was the correct one, with how they just were outmatched in that position. In a back alley, I mean, any of his members could have been feet away from them. They could have been jumped at any point. As we found out when he was fighting Shigaraki, he had them at like arm's length. So I think that was the good choice in hindsight. But I understand of course they're going to feel like that, because Deku, especially, because he wants to save everybody. And if he doesn't save someone, he doesn't think he's doing it correctly. He thinks he's messing up. He always wants to save everybody. So it puts them in a weird spot. But yeah, that man, if they mass produce those or make those even stronger, the world will go to shit. What the hell?
We'll get ERI away from him next time.
Hell, I know I sure wouldn't. And if we go busting into their headquarters and she's not there, they're gonna know that we're onto them. We gotta.
Yeah, you can't do it. You have to find the right way to do it.
To that end, we've made a thorough list of groups with connections to Hasaikai, as well as properties owned by the organization. This is our starting point.
The track and everything.
I'd like you all to investigate each coordinate on this map.
You got to spread everybody out.
Look, the heroes in this room all operate in one of those locales. We know the areas better than most.
Let's just go bring them down while we're taking our sweet time. That abused girl's out there crying somewhere.
We can't do this like
you have to do it
That's why we must be
strategically.
Like how Stain's capture was a beacon that led criminals to seek out and
it'll make the situation worse.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they handed out quirk-destroying weapons to those hoodlums in order to increase their recruitment.
I don't know the specifics of your quirk, Nighteye. Feel free to correct. But from what I've heard of it, your quirk foresight allows you to see into the future. So use it on us.
My foresight has some limitations. I need a full 24 hours between activations. That means I get one person, and then I'm spent for the rest of the day, viewing a film strip. For 1 hour, I have the power to watch a person's life as a movie.
Whoa.
Everything I see is from a tight perspective on the person in question.
That should still provide more than enough information to be useful, don't you think? And it doesn't explain why you can't do it.
That would be strange watching that.
Death in your near future.
And then it would be on his mind since he has All Might's. He probably doesn't want to see people's.
death!
Oh, whoa, hold up. Death is still information. If we know what's coming, we can figure out how to survive.
You don't understand. It's possible what I see is unavoidable.
Bro, that's the only excuse you have for real?
I think it's just too much. It'll fuck with his head too much now.
Yeah.
After what happened to All Might, he probably doesn't use it for that reason. Because then their death is in, like, kind of on him.
We must confirm the girl's location and take her into our protection as quickly as possible using the most accurate data. I'm counting on your help, all of you.
If only I'd rescued her then. Even if I had to use force, at least she'd be safe.
Oh man, so that's what happened.
If only, you can't think like that. Think of what you can do, not what you could have done. But when it's in, you know, it involves like an innocent girl, that can be tougher.
Before you got involved in this, I was going to recommend that your work studies be suspended.
What? Why would you do that?
You were listening when he said the League of Villains is involved, right? Midoriya, you still haven't proven I can trust you again.
It hasn't been long enough yet.
I'm positive that if I try to stop you now, you'll do something reckless and attempt to take things into your own hands. So I'll watch you. Problem child.
He's such a great teacher.
Just remember, regretting something and getting frowny doesn't.
This is very unlike Mirio.
Yeah.
I'll only say this once. Just because you didn't hold on to her this time doesn't mean you didn't give ERI hope. So keep looking forward.
He can be positive sometimes.
Not interested.
Sorry.
That's a great speech, though.
Mirio?
Yeah, I know.
You sent Midoriya to me in the hopes that he would help mend my relationship with All Might.
I thought
All
we
calculated, huh?
supposed to talk at least.
I think he and All Might are very similar. Especially when it comes to the madness living deep within. The one I could never understand.
Relax, it's just me. I'm just checking to make sure you're doing okay in here.
Where the
What?
hell is that guy's
I
eyes?
gave your toys after I bought them special for you. There anything you want me to bring you? No worries. If I'm in the way, I'll leave you alone.
God, that is a horrible place.
Be someone she trusts and feels comfortable with.
I'm a dead man. Like I have any idea what kids like. Maybe I'll grab her one of those magical girl dolls.
My entire life, no one's ever reached out to me like that before.
What a horrible childhood.
Are you okay? Can I help you up? Her whole body.
She's never had that?
So kind. So warm.
Wow. Jeez, is this season gonna be like... Oh my god, are we gonna feel so bad for this girl all season? Because holy shit, man, that's like a horrible situation. Like, we get so many happy moments in My Hero, and then they create this like girl that's in a group of villains that's getting treated like shit and like is abused and has not had a good childhood whatsoever. I mean, she's saying she's never, I mean, Deku's just acting like Deku and being like normal kindness, and she has never had that experience before. What the fuck has she been going through her entire life? That's crazy. Oh my god. Like, of course it's really easy to feel bad for her, but man, that's extreme. Wow. I'm glad that they actually are not charging in, because as we've seen from last season, when you charge in without a plan, that's when casualties happen. And, you know, All Might has to end up using the rest of his strength to, you know, to face All for One. We don't want a scenario where they rush in and then somebody gets hurt or dies or gets put in a horrible situation. We don't want that to happen. So it's best, I completely agree with this, to be very strategic and take your time. Yes, you can, yes, it involves a child and somebody, you know, that's so innocent like that. But at the same time, you have to be smart about it. You have sometimes when you're a hero, you have to be able to take out some, you know, not let your emotions drive you when it comes to your decisions. And I'm glad they were kind of being able to all group up like that and talk about it. And I also want to say Aizawa, I always thought he was a cool character, even, I mean, especially since season 1 where he was protecting everybody. He's been one of my favorites, but and even in these small moments when he can deliver a speech and he kind of just like kind of punch Deku, and it show because he comes off like, if you don't know who he is, he comes off like a dick and somebody that doesn't really talk that much and hides, but in reality he's a good teacher and he's been there for all of them in 1A. But it showed like kind of the teacher student connection that he has with Deku as well, and he wants good for him and all his students really. So that, I don't know, that was kind of a nice moment. But yeah, them all kind of grouped together. It's they're gonna spread out and be in these scenarios where there's more than just one spot, which I didn't really realize. There's a ton of areas. That place is bigger than the League of Villains, where the League of Villains originally were like in that bar in one spot. Now, like, the villains have spread out. There's other groups. The stakes have gone way higher in the last couple seasons, and it's been kind of quiet. But now it's all going into fruition, and I mean, pretty much what All for One wanted, where all these, now there's like so many villains everywhere, and Shigaraki is in charge, and now they're gonna kind of work, side by side with Overhaul's group. It's gonna get interesting. I mean, I love the inclusion of all these villains and actually getting them more screen time. It's really enjoyable. But seeing both sides is good too. But anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. Check out my Patreon at patreon.com/ajrich123 for full reactions and early releases. I do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/ajrich. I've been streaming Persona 5, The Royal, and then I'm also going to be doing Final Fantasy VII Remake on there. We do reaction streams every Thursday at 2 p.m. PST, so feel free to go and check that out. Go follow over there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.